Hello, everyone, and welcome back.
Hi,
Hi, Eugene.
good.
Good. We're carrying on with chapter 3, lesson 3, and number 2. Don't fear failure. A librarian was a great job. Gee, it was not a good job, a great job.
Librarian was a great job. So I reached 10 at 5, grade 7 today, and I became a prefect.
Yeah,
Nice job.
yes.
But I was very naughty.
Oh, my word.
Today you're all looking at your laptops and your phones, so you probably don't know what I'm talking about. But in those days there was a thing called Snakey. I don't know if you ever played it. But the one guy in the front dragged everybody holding hands, and then you ran. And then when you went around the bend, the guy at the back flew right off.
Yeah.
So you try to get rid of as many people as you could before the
Yes.
school bell rang at going to
Mm.
school at 8. So I insisted on playing it because it was wonderful.
Yeah.
And I was usually the leader of the pack, so I never went flying. So I was called in, I don't know, I can't remember now, but it was more than 3 times. Today you get a disciplinary, then you get a disciplinary, and then you're fired.
Correct. Yes.
So I don't know how many times I was called in, but I was called in and they took away my prefect's badge and they
Okay.
said I could become the librarian. So I was very glad because my granny taught me how to read and I love books. So it didn't worry me in the least, even though I was little, and I
Yes.
should have been sad that I was no longer a prefect.
Okay.
I also read a book that was called Failure is the Backdoor to Success,
Oh,
which I can't have no idea who the author was. But it's very interesting. Failure, I mean, what is failure? Failure is just another lesson learned if you learn it.
failure are the stepping stones towards success.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to believe that everything that happens to us is a lesson, I'm not so sure that is all correct. But certainly in our perception of what happens to us is the thing, because horrible things happen to people that I can't even begin to imagine. Okay. But the perception of what happens can be a failure, or it can be a lesson, or it can be a something or other. So for me, failure is the back door to success. We all don't just become good bosses. I mean, I was brought up with a lot of lousy bosses.
Yes, yes, yes.
So for me, there's nothing wrong in failure.
Yeah, you've got to sometimes embrace it. But I suppose people just either take personally, they sink into the effects of the failure. They don't know how to crawl out of that hole that they built for themselves. And so it becomes a lot more than just a little bit of failure.
Don't you think the main thing is they think they worry about what other people think about that failure?
Yeah, that's the biggest hole,
Yes, that is the
right?
biggest hole. So I failed to be a prefect and I've become a librarian. So what are you going to think about me?
Yeah,
And it goes back to, and I know who I am. It doesn't matter what you think about me.
yes,
It's okay to be a failure when you know who you are, because you're not a failure.
yeah.
So for me, I mean, through life, have I failed? Mm. I failed my research 3 times at UNISA. Any UNISA lecturers listening? Okay. Research was a stupid subject for me because you can make up the figures. Okay.
Mm,
So I failed 3 times. The third time I wrote UNISA a letter and I said, listen, we've all been to extra lessons because obviously something's wrong with the teaching.
yeah.
And for goodness sake, what is going on? And guess what? They gave me 50% to get rid of me. So maybe they learned something from my failure. I don't know.
And these days you just Google the fake
You
statistics
Google it.
anyway.
I've got a young friend in New Zealand, and
Yeah,
he called me and he just said, listen, I'm doing research, and the New Zealanders tell you that you must be creative. He says, that's just another way of lying.
exactly.
So I didn't see that as a failure. It kept me back from getting my honors degree 3 years later, but
Yes.
that was okay. Failure is it's not a failure. It's not something to be ashamed of.
No. I mean, a scientist or someone who is discovering something, the story of
Yes,
Einstein, they have to fail many, many times before
yes,
they get that light bulb,
exactly,
before they get the invention
exactly,
right. So
exactly.
see it as something else.
So that goes back to Granny and trying.
There you go.
I don't know
Yes.
about trying. You've got to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the second bit of that is it's actually the fear of failure that is more devastating than the actual failure itself. Eh?
Yes, I guess the fear.
It's the fear that we build up and the worry, the concern, the anxiety around
Yes.
it. It's
So
always
when
the
you become
biggest thing.
conscious, you choose fear over love for me.
You
And
choose love over
I
fear.
mean, you choose love over fear.
Yes.
So you've got to make a choice. Am I going to be fearful about this failure or does it not matter to me and it's okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, that fear does come into it for sure.
Yes, yes, yes. I actually encounter quite a lot of the reverse of people these days are not afraid of failure anymore. They're actually afraid of success. It's pretty
Interesting.
much,
That's
it's
interesting.
like that you're afraid of your light more than you're afraid of
That's
your
interesting.
darkness.
Yes, that's interesting.
And these days, yeah, there's a lot of people that are so
No, that's
fearful of
true.
being successful.
Yeah, that's true. That's interesting. Yes, that's true. I agree.
Yeah. So, but they flip sides of the same coin.
Yeah, for me, it's fears there, and it's certainly about what others think, what you think others are going to think of you.
Yeah.
It's their problem, not mine.
Yes. And why was being a librarian a great job?
It was a great job because I loved the books. I loved reading the stories. I loved advising the kids which books would teach them something different. I just loved reading. I loved the books.
Yeah.
So for me, it was a great job.
Do you still read or you do
No,
audio books?
I still read.
You still read?
Yeah,
Yes.
I still read.
Oh, me too.
But my gain is my goal is if I have one goal, and as I say, I'm old and headed, but is to read all the books on my bookshelf again.
Again. Oh
Mm.
my word. But
But
there's just too many other books to read.
I chucked out a whole lot of a hoarding family. I chucked out a whole lot of stuff, but I've kept all my good books that changed my life.
And name one or two of those.
Oh, there's too many to
I know,
name.
just let's get inspired and
Listen, right back from my early Christianity days, there were guys that wrote the most fantastic books. I'm trying to think of some names as I'm sitting here. I've kept those books because they saw Christianity different in those days as well. So for them, it must have been quite hard because they're sitting with sitting here like this, and now they're suddenly seeing like this.
mm,
I'm trying to think. Anyway, there's many, 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 many. Wayne Dyer in the latest ones. I mean, Wayne Dyer taught me some amazing things.
yeah.
Oh, there's just too many for me to remember. Next time, I'll tell you next time, okay? Some good books to read.
I put you on the spot.
You did. Then Joel Goldsmith, um, all those guys I thought a bit differently. As I said, my mother was a metaphysical lady, so there were metaphysical books in my house.
Mm,
I mean, a little booklet called The School of Truth in Johannesburg, by the way, is a little booklet called The Path of Truth. If I had a postman at home, it would still be coming to my house.
yes.
But I don't have a postman, so now I either get it posted to Pep stores or I come and look at it on my laptop. And it's a metaphysical book that gives you reading every day
Okay.
of what to practice today.
Oh,
So
that's
I never
nice.
get out of bed without practicing something
Mm,
in my pocket to go to work with. So yeah, those are just little booklets. But there's just so many books, Michael, I can't even remember. Yeah.
nice.
I just think of the Chicken Soup for the Soul series. I had a look at them the other day. From soup for the nurse's soul to chicken soup to the politician's soul.
Oh wow. Okay. I haven't seen that many, but I know there's quite a big
There's many of
in
them.
the range.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they are really great, great books.
Love them. So inspirational.
There's so many books that I can't even begin to tell you. But yes, I'm beginning to reread them all again because one forgets. And
Mm,
you've taken it into your lifestyle, so it becomes part of you.
yeah.
So you don't think of the book anymore.
Mm.
So,
Have you read The Alchemist? Paulo Coelho?
yes, I have. Yes, he's written other books. I'm
He
just trying to
has
think what they
written
are. Yeah.
Veronica Decides to Die, The Valkyries, the
Yes.
tons
Yeah,
and tons of
he's
book.
fantastic too. Yes, he's on my bookshelf.
Oh, I love him. Yeah.
Yep.
Good. Umberto Eco?
No,
Oh, I haven't read him.
no,
Okay. Phenomenal.
nope. I didn't read that one. Oh, there's just too many. As I'm sitting here, I can see the bookshelf. There's three of them, okay? Only three.
Yes.
People
But
are
I
like,
suppose one of the most important books is this one. I don't know if you know it.
yeah, I'm on the bookshelf too.
Yes. Okay. So how do you overcome the fear and just do it anyway?
How do you overcome the fear of failure?
Just do it
Well, just
anyway.
do it. And, to think that the other person thinks it's failure, to get that out of your head. And it isn't failure to you anyway.
Mm.
Could have I done better? Yeah, maybe I could have done better, but I didn't. So it's past. I can't, I told you if I go into yesterday, I get sad. If I go in tomorrow, I get fearful. So I have to stay in the present moment. And that's when I'm awake, when I'm here now.
Yep.
And fear for me comes from the past or the future. So I don't go there. I did go there, but I don't go there anymore. So
Yes.
how do you do that? You wake up tomorrow
Absolutely.
morning, you jump out of bed and say, I'm going to be awake. And watch, I'm going to be awake every 15 minutes tomorrow morning. Not only once in the morning and once in the evening.
Yes.
Try it, it works.
It is magical, and I know for sure the minute you stay here, present, focus on where you
Yes.
are, you can't have the thoughts of what if, what they thinking, and all that type of stuff.
Mm.
It's just here, which is important, really,
Yes.
really important.
Yep.
Awesome,
Thank you.
lovely.
Thanks,
So
guys.
everybody, we'll see you next time, and go out there and do what you can and overcome that fear of failure.
Every 15 minutes tomorrow.
Just do it. Until next time, everyone.
Cheers.
Goodbye.
Bye.